What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? MindShift Monday. MindShift Monday. We in the building. All right. We're going to go ahead and get started. If you are on a replay, which you probably are, then I appreciate you. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this video. And I appreciate your support. I appreciate you for coming through. Okay, so go ahead and get started with MindShift Monday. Let's go ahead and get this value come down. All right. Welcome to MindShift Mondays. All right, MindShift Mondays. I did call it MindShift Set, but we calling it MindShift Mondays. We just gonna take a set out because we know we mind shifting, which means it's going to be a constant change. All right. So welcome to MindShift Mondays, where we step out of our routine and mundane way of thinking and shift to a higher perspective, right? Of how we exercise, of how we see things. We exercise everything else. So why not exercise the way that we think? And of course, like I said, see things, okay? Because, you're moving your body, or maybe you're not, but our mind has to shift to keep up with what is going on with the earth, what is going on, period. Even in the universe and just in the world, even with technology, even though that's reflecting us. But needless to say, that's why we're here today, MindShift Mondays. And of course, as always, these video streams are coming from a heart-based frequency. So we will make sure that we connect and dive in. All right, y'all. So I appreciate y'all for showing love and coming through. Yes, I was looking for something. All right, so today's show, we are talking about harmonic resonance and how do our minds and our bodies reflect how we model integrity. Okay, this is, I never know exactly where we're gonna take MindShift Monday. I just know that we shifting, right? And every single Monday comes through, it's like another level up. It's like another step up, right? And so I take it very intentionally when I do these live streams for MindShift Monday because, I'm just very aware of not only my experiences, but also what is going on in the world and what is going on in other environments, right? And so it's just imperative, I feel like, that we come to terms with how everything coexists and how we co-create our realities. Once we are actually harmonizing with other people, once we are synchronizing and doing all of these fancy terms and words that deal with us literally being in a harmonic resonance, okay, and modeling integrity. All right. So, moving forward, I also want to let you all know that the 13 Intentions program with Leading While Learning is official. We are on day 8, and it has been wonderful. And I am just so excited that this program has been coming right along. And if you haven't joined us, the link is in the description. Of course, you can go to www.leadingwhilelearning.com/SP13SP. Again, the link will be in the description. And I'll also put in the comments. All right. So going from there, let's go ahead and dive into the show. So harmonic resonance, right? Now what really made this topic come up is just the fact that, again, sensing where we are in the world. I know it's not your normal topic. It's not something that, I mean, you probably can find people talking about it in various ways. But, and I wanted to make sure that it's just spoken on right now at this time, at this pivotal point in time in our lives, while everything is just shifting dynamically, right? You got so much going on. China and Brazil made a deal, right? They exchanging their own currencies. They got their own flow going on, their own harmonic resonance going on between them, right? So they excluding the US. And then you have, the most powerful auroras happened at the last week of March, right? And so many shifts and dynamics. Paris has its ongoing thing going on, like, and the regular things that continue to cycle in and out of our realities based on what we're paying attention to and what we're giving our attention to. All right. So diving into harmonic resonance, the first thing is how our bodies and minds reflect how we model integrity, right? So the first thing for me when I'm thinking about harmonic resonance, of course, we know what a harmonica is, right? If you don't know what harmonica is, again, this is MindShift Monday, but I always want you to do your own research, okay? Just because you are here does not mean I'm the end all be all for information. So please do your own research, all right? Because it's imperative. That's a part of what I teach or what I guide through in the 13 Intentions program is making sure that you do your own research and do your due diligence for what you need to experience your effective self-leadership, right? All right, so now that's out the way. You got to make sure you remind people, because in this reality, you know, we can all harmonize with each other, but if we all sing in the same tune, right? Like that's phenomenal. But there's an acapella, right? And this is dealing with what we're dealing with today. There's an acapella. And that acapella is like, everybody pretty much coming in on their tune. Okay. So without without the instrumentals, it's straight voice, straight sound, straight frequency. And so that's pretty much what we're doing. So never, not even just for myself, but for anyone, make sure you do your own research. All right. So when we're dealing with harmonic resonance, and what is harmonic resonance? Now I'm gonna give you an example of the definition of harmonic resonance. All right. I'm gonna bring it up right here. So this is an example. It comes from Wikipedia. The example of harmonic resonance: pushing a person in a swing is a common example of resonance. The loaded swing, a pendulum, has a natural frequency of oscillation. Its resonant frequency and resists being pushed at a faster or slower rate. All right. So I'm going to bring that down. All right. So basically what I heard is like the balance, right? The balancing of scales pretty much. And you can't go any faster or slower. Like you can't speed it up. If you try to speed it up, it'll probably knock things out of its vibration. It'll knock things out of balance, out of whack, right? So again, we come back to defining a harmonic resonance. And so I think the most important part of that to me is dealing with the organs, dealing with the body, dealing with vibrations and frequencies coming from the body, being emitted from the body. But how does this happen, right? To me, if we have organs, then that means we're organizing. In some type of way, we're always organizing. We're always being organized. Or even in the heavenly realms, like we're being organized. We're being situated in place where we need to be to do what we need to do. Da da da. So our organs are literally emitting vibrations and sounds and even messages to us to inform us of what it needs as well. And it's sending these messages through the pathways, right? It's sending these messages through the grapevine. The grapevine can be your veins, or the different passageways that lead through the heart and lead to other organs and everywhere else. So most of the time we are too busy to pay attention. But the great thing is we also have intuition, right? That hunch that you get, like, maybe I should move to the left, or maybe I should do this thing, or maybe I should go to the grocery store and get some green beans and, eat a salad today, or listen to this type of music, right? So it's the same thing. Sometimes we wonder, why are we craving a specific type of food or listening to a type of music? Is because the body is calling out and communicating to us, right? The same way pain and pleasure are communicated through the brain and senses. So if we can get through that point of the fact of even pain and pleasure, you put your hand in the flame, immediately you're going to have a response. You're going to have a reaction because you are attuned to the messages that have already been assimilated in the body, in the cells, in the memory, in the mind, that this flame is hot. You're taking a cold bath, same, or a cold shower, same thing, except for eventually you can actually get used to that, right? Spend a few minutes in a cold shower, which is actually supposed to be a good thing. But let's keep going. So there's a really great quote from a guy, I know his name is Terrence Jackson, and he created Get Rich and Grow Wealth. And the quote is, an organized life is an organized world. Get rich and grow wealth. And so with that is always a reminder, a key reminder. And not only does organization reflect in our regular living, inside our homes, inside our minds, but as we are organized on the inside, the world outside of us is organized and organizing as well. There's always constant movement happening, even when it looks like it's nothing moving at all. There is a vibration there. There is a frequency there. All right. So there are different frequencies that the organs actually emit. And so we're going to go here right fast. So this right here is a chart. Let's see if I can remove this. This right here is a chart. Again, you can do your own research to see if there are any updated information, or if you got, if you know how to test these things out yourself, you can. But this is just information that I'm putting out, so that way we are just fully aware that it's here, that it's available, and that it's real. All right. So they have the name of body organs. All right. I don't know. Are we missing some organs? I'm just trying to see pancreas, liver, heart, human body, liver. I think we're missing something. But these are just a few. So we're dealing with the brain frequency between 72 and 90 megahertz. All right. Then you have a normal frequency, normal brain frequency at 72. The human body between 62 and 78. Heart frequency 67 and 70. Liver frequency 55 and 60. Pancreas 60 to 80. Disease starts at 58. Now that's interesting. immediately they're like disease starts at 58. So once you tap into 58, something is out of whack. Matter of fact, once you're at 60, and it's kind of interesting because whatever's closest to 58 are the first things that I see are actually the things that will be affected first. So let's see. We have the liver, we have the pancreas, right? The liver, most definitely, because it's at between 55 and 60. So that's the most important, right? One of the most important, top important. All right. Then you have, again, the pancreas, but the pancreas can go from 60 to 80, but it's still on the edges of 58, right? Versus the liver is at 55 to 60. So then we go a little higher and we're over 60, with just the human body in general and the heart frequency going between 67 and 70. So with this information, we can determine, even from an emotional state, why things occur in the body the way that they do. And we're going to go into this a little bit further as we keep going for some things that actually may cause the issues that will actually start the disease, right? The dis-ease, the disharmony, right? The dissatisfaction. Okay? So I also want to make mention that, let's bring this back up here. So there's also information that I received from a reference site where they're saying, according to Bruce Taino, researcher and founder of Taino Technology, the healthy human body resonates at a frequency of 62 to 72 megahertz. And disease starts when the frequency drops to 58 megahertz. All right. And this is also coming from Khaled Hamalawi, Institute of Biochemistry and Physiology of Microorganisms in Russia. All right. So then this pretty much reconfirms exactly what I'm speaking about. All right. So then we also have one more defining resonance, okay, that's dealing with the human body and the mind, especially the intelligence, and that's the Schumann resonance. All right. And I find this one very important because it also dictates anything that dictates our brain and intelligence, also deals with our emotions. All right. So we never know, before I get into this, we never know what's really affecting us and why, which is on the previous episode of MindShift Monday, we went into exploring wakefulness, right? But then previous to that, was that the same one? No, previous to that, so many. Previous to that, we went into dealing with the auroras and the solar flares of the sun and how that information that comes from the sun affects us. Even dealing with heart health, right? Plasma that we have in our body, right? The things that we just seldomly take for granted. I mean, we all do it. I mean, the moment you have to balance things out, right? But I feel like when it comes down to dis-ease, disharmony, dissatisfaction, not being satisfied with things in our life, not being satisfied with how we see things, period, across the board, whether you're looking in a mirror and you're dissatisfied, whether you're looking out in the world and you're dissatisfied, sometimes the world doesn't always necessarily reflect you, right? Because we're all co-creating this reality. And there is a way that at least when you step outside the natural world, the actual resonance and the actual vibration of the earth can reflect to you the true vibes, the true beauty, right? The true things that are going on, you know. So we want to keep that in mind. But we have the Schumann resonance, a signal that provides a brain frequency range matching electromagnetic signal, providing the synchronization needed for intelligence. And again, the heart even has electromagnetic signals, right? The earth, which is what the Schumann resonance is dealing with, has an electromagnetic signal. The sun has an electromagnetic signal. So we're receiving all this information from these places and are totally unaware most of the time. Now, I'm not saying everybody's going to be walking around totally embodying, the AI of themselves. Okay? You're not artificial. It's the authenticity, okay? It's the authenticity of being a human, right? So I'm not saying that's a thing that everybody will take up and mantle, but what I'm saying is that it is a thing that is coming. All right. So, I'm just doing the due diligence to make sure that there is awareness, there is consciousness, and there is intention behind us knowing these things so we can go further. Because the more information that you have to at least dive into yourself, the more you can research more for yourself. And that can inspire other people to do the same thing, right? And you can become a harmony. You can embody your frequency, embody your harmony, and you can be at peace, right? You can feel the vibration and really know what it feels like to be at ease, okay? Not at dis-ease, but at ease. And again, we all go through it. We all have these different things that occur in our lives to where, the body just goes through shifts, goes through upgrades, downgrades. It just goes through exactly what it's going through to get our attention, constantly messaging us, but we steadily scrolling. We like, oh yeah, boop, we liked it. We liked the message and we kept scrolling. We treated it like social media, right? So this is something that, we just need to pay attention to. That's all. And the more you pay attention to yourself, the more you pay attention to those hints and those nudges, of doing something, then the better, we can feel about ourselves, the more we can be proactive in the things that we need to do and go from there. All right. So I'm going to go back into defining integrity. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Let me make sure. Let's see what this one is. Okay, before we actually go into defining integrity, this is just a discussion that is actually on the NASA website where they're talking about the human bodies are often exposed to vertical vibrations when they are in the workplace or on vehicles, not in vehicles, on vehicles. Okay? Prolonged exposure may cause undue stress and discomfort in the human body, especially at its resonant frequency. By testing the response of the human body on a vibrating platform, many researchers found the human whole body fundamental resonant frequency to be around 5 hertz. So it's like this whole body experience, but it's between 5 and 10. But this is just It's just more information. Dive into it the best way you can for yourself if you want to. All right. So let me go into integrity. Okay, so integrity, because we're talking about modeling integrity. So integrity, again, deals with the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles and moral uprightness, the state of being whole and undivided. All right? Wholeness, cohesion, unification, unity, right? Rectitude, honor, sovereignty, honesty. All of these major things. All right, so for some reason, we willingly, when dealing with integrity, I'm about to just hit on a bunch of things, okay? And we're going to lead all the way into, again, modeling integrity. So defining integrity, right? We just define integrity. It's dealing with sovereignty. It's dealing with wholeness, right? It's dealing with truth, honesty, things of that nature, right? So for some reason, we willingly give up our rights for someone else to make decisions for us for some reason in this world. All right, and tell us what to do or what is best for us, and we willingly fall into suit. Okay, we come in, we're born, and next thing you know, somebody's telling you what to eat, what clothes to wear. It's like get in line, look at the commercials, learn what you need to learn, be who you need to be, and get into the program, right? You know, so unless you've grown up, different ways, everybody has different experiences. But for the majority of people on this planet, especially we'll say in the US, but definitely if you have a TV near you at all, or nowadays the internet or a mobile phone, right? There was always something telling you the next best thing for you to do, you know? Now, some of those things could have been actual guidance for you, but at the most integral part of being a human being and being born into this world, like there are just certain things that should have been integrated into our lives before the TV, before the commercials were suggesting things, right? And history makes it plain that commercials were made to make suggestions. All right. Marketing, psychology. What is it? Edward Bernays. So it's like, I think it's Edward Bernays. I definitely know the last name is Bernays. Do your own research, guys. All right. So the main thing is dealing with integrity. Like we give up so many things, to a government or to a state or to anything that we sign ourselves over to, pretty much. And we relinquish a lot of our power, a lot of our rights. All right. So this is even dealing with, if we're dealing with the body, they also have something called bodily integrity. And I'm sure a lot of people don't know about this. Bodily integrity. So there are laws in place around bodily integrity, which you should take time to review. And let's see, I don't know if I have it in here. I don't think so. But there are laws in place. You can look it up on Wikipedia, bodily integrity, okay? Take time to review it, as this is a human right. And for some reason, it will be revisited on a larger scale again in the near future. So the last time, all states, cities, the UN, this is where the human rights come into play, okay? This is where sovereignty comes into play. This is where, all the different countries have their layout of what they agree with and what they don't agree with dealing with bodily integrity. The last thing that we revisited in bodily integrity was the overthrowing of Roe versus Wade. dealing with abortion, right? So imagine if that one thing right there sets precedence for other things to come in the future, right? Because we're allowing someone to make decisions for us. Okay, now I'm not really about to like go further into it. It's not really I'm not, I'm just here to bring the awareness, okay? And just make you consciously aware of what's going on around you so that way you can also see how it plays out in your life. Because I may be saying this right now, and in a year or two from now, it's playing out on the bigger picture as far as why these things are important. Why the emphasis on sovereignty is important, right? So, again, we go back into what has control over your body. Nowadays, a lot of information is being shared about how to aid the body in taking care of itself. How can we be proactive and even embody peace within us? Okay? This is a sort of sovereignty for yourself, right? Being released and freed up of the constraints of what the world demands, of what regular life demands, you know? Being able to maneuver how you need to for what you need to do, your purpose, your divinity. All right. So being at peace is a sovereign act. Even in resistance, as this too declares the autonomy, the self-ownership, and the self-determination, which are all aspects of characteristics that God, the Most High, has given us as human beings. Okay? All right, so what does modeling integrity look like? Okay, so modeling integrity looks like what we believe in, what we value, what we stand for, all right, what we speak about. Are you speaking life or are you speaking death? Are you thinking life or are you thinking death? All right, what is your vibration? How does it reflect in the world and in your day-to-day experiences? Now, we saw the chart of the organs and the body itself and its frequency, its megahertz, right? So again, what is your vibration? What is your frequency? Because we also heard in the research where, they're studying, the vibration of the body, and, the stagnancy that comes from being in the workplace or just sitting in a car, on a car all day or for long periods of time. So how is that affecting our health? Through vibration, through frequency, because that's the first resonance of the emotional state into the body, right? How you feel, how you're reacting, how you're responding. Okay, how you're speaking. Again, are you speaking life or are you speaking death? Are you lying to yourself about anything? This can create dis-ease, disharmony, being out of character. Now, let me just say that there are certain things that happen in the body where it's just like, hey, we didn't know. Or you just trying to make it the best way you could. You might not have had access to do a certain thing or to move a certain way to get access to, certain things that could aid you along the way to take care of yourself. All right. But we live and we learn. And once we learn, this is where we can start putting different things into practice and see what works for us. All right. As individuals, and then how it can work for other people. That's how people end up sharing so much information about how they healed themselves, or possibly just how you can live a healthier lifestyle, into the more of a wellness thing. dealing with your mindset, dealing with your emotional intelligence, dealing with intelligence overall, dealing with the body's flexibility, the body's wellness, the body's frequency, the organs, everything. All right. So, as the world continues to change in the most profound ways, it will not just be in the material of changes or just technology, but it will also be within our minds, our hearts, and souls. Are you singing a heavenly tune or a hell of a tune? Okay. How can we promote more harmonic resonance within our minds, bodies, and souls? Really, more peace, more tranquility, more serenity, more ease, more balance. As everybody is saying nowadays, a soft life, right? That's the thing right now, a soft life. Because everybody is realizing that they're working so hard, and yes, they may be accomplished. Yes, we've achieved these things. Yes, yes, and yes. Or possibly no, maybe you're not seeing things show up in your life and you like, something gotta give. I'm spinning my wheels, right? So maybe a few things that can be done is maybe tuning out of the world stage. Forget what so and so and them is doing. Forget what the president is up to at this time, right? You can tune in once a week. It's going to be the same thing. Still signing contracts and agreements, still trying to decide on contracts and agreements, still walking around, having meetings, okay? When we can go ahead and reflect all of those things into ourselves, okay? What are your contracts and agreements? What kind of deals are you making? Right? All right, so tuning back into ourselves, our environment, and what our divine guidance is. This can be as easy as 20 minutes a day. It's a practice. Most of us do it. Heck, even reading or writing or praying, right? Something that allows you to escape the mundane, regular 1, 2, 3 reality repeating itself through the news and etc. Now you can go on YouTube and type in these frequencies for the body and play them in your home or in whatever you are doing, right? Like there are plenty of them. And I feel like the easiest thing you can do is tune into nature, all right? As easy as just walking outside or waking up in the morning, laying in bed and listening to the birds tweeting, or just all the animals outside, the sounds of nature, the wind blowing, the storm coming through, right? And if you're at a beach, you can catch some negative ions. You have some water around, you can catch some negative ions. And I'll go ahead and give an example of negative ions, and then we'll be finished. Heck, I feel like I'm a whole negative ion myself, to be honest. I love negative ions, you know, all right, so what does negative ions do to your body? All right. So we inhale negative ions in environments such as the ocean, mountains, forests, and waterfalls. Once they reach our bloodstream, negative ions are believed to produce biochemical reactions that increase levels of the mood chemical serotonin, helping to alleviate depression and relieve stress and boost energy. All right. So again, you can tap in however is best for you. There are natural ways for us to just live naturally and to just do things in an ebb and flow where it's just like, you're literally going with the flow. Okay. So hopefully this information was helpful for you. Again, if you're on the replay, I appreciate you. And all links will be in the description. And this is MindShift Monday, you guys. And we've had a powerful day today. Man, when I tell you it was a powerful day today. Powerful days in the previous days, yesterday, the day before that. But I'm telling you, from Monday to Monday, man, it's some major shifts going on. And I just want to commend you for tapping in and tuning in so that you can be your harmonic self within the world, so that you can, put out your frequency and vibration and be who you need to be your authentic self. All right. So again, thank you so much for tuning into MindShift Monday. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. And we will end here. All right. So y'all have a great night, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.